Right, pressing record on this video. I'm gonna try and keep it as authentic as possible because my aim is just to send this video to somebody who basically needs it, right? We've all gone through a period in our life where we kind of feel stressed, we may feel anxious, and what tends to happen is we question everything, and it can lead to questioning Allah, right? Thing is, I've gone through it myself, and everyone has gone through it. And if you haven't gone through a similar period of struggle, of stress, anxiety, and all these different things, you will go through it. Like, there's no way that Allah Azza wa Jal won't put you through that period, right? The thing is this: there are multiple things that we should remember and understand when these periods happen, right? And the thing is, when we tend to have these periods of struggle, of anxiety, as I said, we tend to question Allah. And so many of us start to think that maybe questioning Allah means that our iman is not strong, right? That we don't have faith in Allah Azza wa Jal as best as we would want to, right? And we start to question, is even Islam the right religion, right? Does Allah Azza wa Jal exist? He's not answering my du'as. He's not answering my prayers. What do I do? The thing is this, and I heard this from a sheikh, an Arabic sheikh. I'm pretty sure he passed away. May Allah be pleased with him, obviously. I can't remember exactly his name, but he explained this, that if you think about it, if you start to question your faith, you start to question your iman when hardship happens, not when you have good. Like if good is happening in your life and you don't question anything, then it's good. I mean, even if you do question if there's good happening, then it's still a good indicator, and I'll explain why. But especially when, like, you're going through a struggle, you have anxiety, you have stress, and there's something in your life that's really making your life difficult, questioning Allah Azza wa Jal is actually a sign of good iman, of strong iman, and I'll explain why. If you think about it, and I'm pretty sure it's a hadith, where basically Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the shaitan tries to keep you away as much as possible from the remembrance of Allah, right, from Islam. And as soon as bad things happen in your life, do you really not think that the shaitan will come to you and start doing waswas in your ear, whispering in your ear, things like, Allah doesn't exist because he's not answering your du'as, and all these different things, right? Do you really believe that when these hardships happen, you're not going to start having these questions in your mind because of the shaitan? You have these questions, you start to question yourself about Allah, about Islam, generally speaking, exactly because the shaitan knows how strong your iman is, and you're in a moment where you're not feeling super well, right? You're kind of in a negative state. And so what the shaitan is trying to do is take advantage of this situation and just throw waswas at you, right? And just whisper in your ear, Allah doesn't exist. He's not going to answer your prayers because he doesn't exist. And so you having this questioning, you starting to ask these questions about the religion itself is a very good indicator that the shaitan, not only does the shaitan, or probably also Allah Azza wa Jal, as he knows everything, right? But the shaitan notices your iman and how strong it is. And so he's trying his best to shake it, to get you away from Islam, to get you away from the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal, right? And so that's one thing that you absolutely need to keep in mind, right? Because I'm sure so many of you who maybe are clicking this video, I'm pretty sure the title's going to be something like, don't give up, Allah has a plan, or something along those lines. I don't know. When I'll post the video, you'll see, right? But the thing is, I'm sure, like 100%, that everyone that is watching this video, even if you're not in a period of struggle, let's say, you have questioned these things, right? You have thought of these different things. But trust me, it's a very good sign. It's like when you feel guilt after committing a sin. You may feel bad for committing it, and you may feel, oh no, Allah Azza wa Jalla is never going to forgive me. That's bad, right? That's a bad fear which we shouldn't have. We should have full trust in Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, right? But you feeling guilt after committing a sin is extremely good, because when you go and ask for repentance, you know you're going to be sincere because you feel guilty. It's a good sign, right? The same goes for when you're going through a struggle and you start to question stuff. You start to question Islam. You start to question it because it's the shaitan who is basically putting these whispers in you. Because if you were a kafir, basically following a different religion, these kafirs have 100% certainty about their religion. And the shaitan doesn't care about shaking their iman, or at least their iman. It's not really their iman, but you get what I mean, the faith in their religion, right? The shaitan doesn't care about shaking it because he already knows that they're away from Islam. They don't believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. So why should I try and make them question stuff, right? Let's keep them on the deceived path, right? But you as a Muslim, you know that you start to question these things, and trust me, it's normal. We all do, because of the shaitan, and use it as a good sign that your iman is indeed strong. Otherwise, the shaitan wouldn't even whisper in your ears. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, which is basically what, in my opinion, may affect most people, right? Is that when something bad happens, we all know that, yeah, with hardship comes ease. It's the ayah of the Quran, right? With hardship comes ease. We know it. But it's so difficult to apply it, right? But the thing is, and I was thinking about this, right? I'm not so sure if it's a hadith or like an ayah of the Quran. I should get more information when I talk about these things, to be honest. I just hear them, but I hope my information is right. I really hope. And may Allah Azza wa Jal forgive me if I get something wrong, or if I get the references wrong. But basically, if a calamity happens to you, or if something bad happens to you, if a struggle happens to you, and through it you get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, then indeed it is not a calamity, but it is a gift, a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal to you directly. But when something good happens to you, or at least that makes you feel good, right? And you notice that it keeps you away from Allah Azza wa Jal, then that is a curse, right? That is the real calamity. There is nothing more important in this dunya than holding on to your deen, right? Like gripping it hard and not letting go, okay? And most of the times when something bad happens to you and you get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, it's everything but a calamity. Yes, you may feel stressed. I don't know exactly what your problem is, because everyone has different problems, right? But trust me, we're all gonna go. We're all gonna leave this dunya. Think about it like this. This is not our home. This is a hotel we're staying in, right? We're staying at this hotel. We are enjoying the things in this hotel in a sense, but we're gonna go back home, right? We're gonna go back home, and that home is Jannah, inshallah. So trust me when I say this. When something bad happens to you and you start to question the religion itself, you start to question Allah Azza wa Jal, it's a good sign, because the shaitan is trying to tamper with your iman, right? Because he knows how strong it is. And second of all, when something that you feel like is bad is happening to you, but you get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, it is everything but a calamity. And vice versa, right? When something good happens to you and you get away from Allah Azza wa Jal, then that is the real calamity. You get my point? And that's basically it. I made this video because maybe it could help some people. It's not that I'm going through a similar time, I don't believe so, but I did have a few, like the past few days, have been some days in which I was questioning Allah Azza wa Jal, like for example, certain things weren't being answered right. And so I started to think, oh no, this is a sign that Islam is false or whatever, right? But unfortunately, or at least fortunately, I then logically come back to my conclusion, which Islam is the truth. And I remind myself of these different things which I just told you about. And inshallah, I could make you feel better in with this video. And inshallah, I'll be posting more of this type of content, as I'm pretty sure it can benefit a lot of you. Right. Assalamu alaikum.